What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground Podcast. It's Battle. I've got my tag team partner, Eli, and a guy that, you know him as the king of television joins us the show, and he's now the king of this podcast. Samoa Joe's on the show with us.
It's good to be here, guys. I appreciate the recognition. Yes, I feel very kingly on this podcast. You know, I should do all the bumpers from now on. I think it should just be me. Welcome to the Battleground, iHeartRadio. Like I'm almost like the guy, right?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I got locked in the iHeartRadio lobby one time and had to listen to that dude for like 30 minutes, and I almost physically harmed myself. But other than that, it's good to be on the podcast, gents.
I'll send you a check, and you can just be our voice guy. So you'll be the king of television and the king of podcasting. We'll just knock it all out in one shot. That's what we'll do. So let me ask you this, Samoa Joe. As the king of television, I mean, what has the experience been of launching the hottest news show in professional wrestling, AEW Collision, and, of course, bringing wrestling back to Saturday nights?
Oh, it's been very fun. You know, obviously going out there, being in main events and giving the folks what they want and giving some people something to tune in for has always been a fun little bonus to what I get to do. So, yeah, man, it's been a blast, and I'm very happy with Collision. It's a fun show. It's got a hell of a theme song, which I predicted on my Twitter psychically. No idea Tony was going to do it, and then lo and behold, Saturday night's all right for fighting. It all worked out.
Yeah. Well, I think the King's opinion probably carries a lot of weight.
You know, I was like, you know, you saw what I said, and then you said this is the best course, and you know, he didn't say yes, but he kind of like shook his head at me, and you know, it was an acknowledgement.
Yeah, there you go. So the last 5 years of wrestling has been crazy. The last 10 years of wrestling has been crazy.
It's been wild, right?
It's been very crazy. If you could go back to, let's say, I don't know, 2010, which one of these is the most more unlikely scenario? You being a Ring of Honor champion in 2023, or you facing Punk in 2023? Like, which one of those seems a little bit more out there?
I mean, both of them would sound tremendously sad to me back then. You know, just like, you know, wow, you guys are still fighting after all this time. Just can never get it figured out, huh? Wow. Okay. Cool. No, it's funny. It doesn't sound that implausible to me because, like, you know, legitimately throughout my career, you keep running into the same people over and over again, and it's for a good reason. I mean, you know, when you are, you know, going out there and you're facing the best in the world, well, you know, that doesn't often change. You know, those people who are the very best in the world, you see them over and over and over again. So it really doesn't come at any surprise to see CM Punk at this point in our careers.
Yeah, for sure. And it's always been exciting just to see every week. I mean, there's so much wrestling going on. You've got multiple AEW shows. You've got the Ring of Honor show. And, of course, you know, it's almost like every Ring of Honor show that we've watched here recently since the relaunch is kind of like a tribute show to the late, great Jay Briscoe. How has that locker room continue to recover? And, you know, what would you tell the young stars of ROH, those that were never lucky enough to meet him, about Jay Briscoe?
Well, you know, the absence of Jay is felt, especially in the Ring of Honor locker room, just because of his consistent presence there, you know, over the years. And, you know, many times being a leader in the company, you know, being the guy that was the guy to carry the banner and the flagship and the championship. So, you know, to not have that there and taken, like, you know, legitimately from out of nowhere, nobody expected it. You know, it does leave a great void, and one that, you know, will remain for a bit. But with that being said, you know, Ring of Honor has always been, you know, a crossroads for new young stars to kind of make their mark. And you know, if anything, I would say they missed out on having probably one of the best friends they'd ever have in the world in that locker room. But at the same time, his efforts and what he did allows that locker room to remain today for them to, you know, find their way and their path in the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's you know, he was one of those that left it all out in the ring, so it's just it's still recovering from that loss. If you had to pinpoint one thing, one idea, whatever it is, what would you say has been the biggest difference in the Tony Khan ran Ring of Honor compared to your previous time there?
If anything, resources, the biggest thing. But outside of that, you know, really the Ring of Honor that I came up in was, you know, a company just, you know, really eking out a way to survive and just was becoming something from scratch. No prior history, no huge stars really carried the company banner that people knew about. It was all newer talent that was servicing a market at the time that just wanted to see newer talent and wanted to be kind of part of something from the ground floor up. And that was Ring of Honor in its early days. It was just something it was a wild kind of revolutionary concept that took off across the nation. And, we started doing business across the world, when it was all said and done. So that is in and of itself a very unique journey and a pretty wild journey. The Ring of Honor now, it's very much that company, but with better resources and definitely more access to a wider talent pool. So, it's my greatest hope that Ring of Honor just becomes a platform for a lot of these stars to be able to kind of come into their own, do what they do, and, explode on the scene.
For sure. And, we've got a big thing happening this Friday. I mean, you've got your hands full because as of right now, as this episode is airing on YouTube and podcasts, we don't know who your challenger is at the moment for your television championship at Death Before Dishonor. It's either going to be Dalton Castle or Shane Taylor. What would it mean to retain your belt at the 20th Death Before Dishonor over, one of these two guys that are also synonymous with the ROH brand?
Oh, absolutely. Both guys tremendously synonymous with the brand, especially, in its current years. And, to be able to go in there and, take another win over another young, hungry talent that's trying to make his mark in the world. It's something I've been able to do in AEW and I've enjoyed very much, and I can't wait to do it in Ring of Honor. The hope that gets crushed in their eyes when you initially destroy them is something that just cannot be replicated, either chemically or in a kitchen. So, it's one of the few pleasures that I really enjoy in life.
Yeah, right. So it's basically that, and then like the Road Warrior pop, right?
You know what? Really, and it's hard for you guys to understand, but like it's a little bit over. Yeah, it's a good. This guy's good at guessing stuff. I like him. Yeah.
All right. So not too long ago, it seemed that there was a little bit of a tease, a potential teasing of you and Zack Sabre Jr., the IWGP television champion. It did not happen at Forbidden Door.
No, it didn't.
We not doing it at Death Before Dishonor. Would Wembley Stadium be a worthy enough stage for you two to duke it out and see who's the best television champion right now?
It might be, but like Zach's like he's like home, right? Like, does he really want that to happen to him, like in his backyard?
Yeah, that's
mom can finally make it out for the matches, and I smear you all over the canvas. That's. Do you really want to ruin Christmas? That's all I'm really saying here, because it's going to be awkward coming out of summertime and you can't walk right for, I'm just saying, it's just me, if I'm thinking about the family events and how I want to arrange this and I'm Zach, I'm like, maybe not the best time to really go after Joe. So, we'll see. I know I'll be there, and, somebody's going to have a bad night, but, hopefully it's not one of the local boys, because we all want to have a pint afterwards, Call it kissing cousins and just walk away from it. Okay, right? No big deal, right? Everybody's friends and family.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when you think about it, because this is what's great about that show that's in Wembley, not one match has been announced yet, and the thing's sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that mean for you guys in the locker room as also a brand as AEW? The fact that no matches have been announced, nothing's been said other than the fact that we're coming here and Wembley sold out.
It means there's an expectation, and I think we're all itching at the opportunity to fulfill it and give everybody an awesome show. And I think that's really what it speaks to at this point. The statements have already been made. It's been heard loud and clear, and I know everybody from myself and everybody else in the locker room is very much looking forward to the opportunity to go over there and have the matches that we want to have and entertain the fans the way that they hope to be entertained.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun to watch for sure.
And it's kind of weird for us too, because we have to kind of pause. You've seen everything from the beginning of Ring of Honor to the big show up north, whatever. AEW is 4 years old. If you go back to the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, wrestling companies didn't start out this hot and this big and this, has it? You've got the experience. Is there anything like backstage? Do you kind of maybe depart some wisdom, be like, okay, let's just focus on the goal. I know we're growing very big, but let's just focus on making the best product.
Man, I'm not big on speeches, man. Like, I keep getting this question. It's like, if people come and ask me personally, okay, yeah, sure, I'll giving my 2 cents, but yeah, it's a solicited opinion, man. I hate to pontificate, especially when everybody's working hard and doing their thing, and then somebody says, hey guys, listen up, I have some advice I'm going to tell you for too long. So yeah, I mean, it really everybody knows what time it is, and everybody knows what we have going on when it comes to London and Wembley. So I think it's just everybody's really excited. There's just a lot, just anxious, if anything, and just kind of very much itching to get out there and put on a great show. So I think that's pretty much the focus, especially how everybody really feels about when we heard the numbers and what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, for sure. And I know we're looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to Death Before Dishonor, which you can watch live on pay-per-view this Friday night. So something fun that we've recently started doing inside these interviews is everybody is talking about these AI robots and Chat GPT, right? So we have decided to ask our Chat GPT guy a question. And we said, hey, we're having Samoa Joe on the show. What would you like to ask? So this is what the robot has come up with, a question for you, Samoa Joe. The ROH Television Championship has a rich lineage with some legendary title holders. How do you see yourself leaving your mark on this championship during your reign?
Yeah, that was definitely asked by an AI. Super compelling question. Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude.
It was either that or how did you get your start in
Well, you see. Yeah.
I'm really surprised I didn't ask the dream opponent question, because that's the one I hate the most, because that's what I'm pretty much convinced it's going to try to ask. Okay, robot. I am the best. I am the greatest. Number one. As they say in Hawaii, no ka'oi, which also is number one. I am greater than. If you were to put me on, let's say, in a fraction, okay, I would be the bottom number. And I would be greater. Okay, that's just how it needs to be seen. So to the Chat GPT, there I answer your compelling and stunning question.
Math magic. That's all.
Yeah.
So here's also one other thing, and I've asked 2 other people that have been a part of this photo if we can recreate this photo. Now, AEW is not coming to Municipal Auditorium where this original photo was created. We're going to be at Bridgestone Arena, but I have texted the other 2 guys and said, hey, can we recreate this photo? And they said that they're down. Now, I just needed your approval. Can we recreate this photo?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you got to find that other guy, though. Let's see if he's around. We were so excited to take pictures with you. I can tell you that much. As you can tell by our body language, how we were all super engaged and like, oh, wow, let's give these guys the best picture ever. And I found my boy Nick was doing also a great job on the other end of that photo, too.
I think that was, I want to say that was Lockdown was when that photo was taken at Municipal. And it was like this meet and greet, and we all go backstage, and I think we're at the end of the line, and I kind of knew from being in this business that you guys were ready to go, and then I saw that photo, and I was like, oh, they were definitely ready to go. Yeah,
we're halfway out the door, man.
End of the line.
Well, Samoa Joe, we don't want to take up too much of your time. I know that you are a very busy man, being the king of television. So real quick, before we let you go, where can people keep up with you at online?
Instagram, Twitter. I guess there's probably some other socials out there. I don't really mess with it too much. At Samoa Joe. And that's about it.
Sweet. There it is, Samoa Joe. It's an honor to have you on the show, man. Thanks for coming on, and we look forward to seeing you being at the end of Death Before Dishonor and still Ring of Honor television champion.
Hey, when you know the future, right, guys? It's good to be me. Y'all take care.